everyone, and thank you so much for watching my video today. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 ways to improve your writing starting right now. So stay tuned with Writing with Janice. Alright, so like I mentioned before, today's video is going to be talking about 5 ways to improve your writing. I'm going to go over mainly the most common mistakes I've run into as a novel editor myself, and as I've edited other people's works, some common themes or problems I've seen writers run into. Okay, start off strong. I see this a lot. A lot of new writers tend to start with world building, and they explain the background of their history of this world, and that's great information, just not at the beginning of your story. You want to draw people in, you want to entice them, and starting off with, this is how the world works. I'm sorry, it's interesting for you, but not very interesting for me who's just getting into it. So start off with action verbs. Who is your main character? What are they doing? Are they nervous? Are they anxious? Are they happy? Why are they happy? You know what I'm saying? So start off strong, not with world building. Okay, so another thing that I see in a lot of new writers is they tend to use 2 adjectives to describe a verb. And a rule of thumb for me that I use personally, if I need 2 adjectives to describe one verb, I need a new verb. So instead of saying something like, she gently, lightly touched his hair, say something that she grazed, her fingers grazed his scalp. Boom. Simple and easy. Or instead of saying something like, he ran quickly, hurriedly through the forest. No, just say he dashed or he bolted between the trees. You see the difference there? It's a lot more visual, and it's easier for the reader to kind of be immersed in what you're saying when you are very specific and you use action verbs. Omit using that and which. A lot of newer writers cling to these words like it's the last breath of air. What you want to do is, if you can still get your point across without using that and which, then you don't really need them in the first place. But if they are important to the infrastructure of your sentence, you may want to reconsider rephrasing them. You want to make short, concise, pithy sentences that produce a very vivid image in your reader's minds, and that in which are bridges to run-on sentences. And speaking of vivid, you want to use very colorful and vibrant terminology that brings your comparisons to life. So people are tired of reading blue as the sea, her hair was white as snow. Like, no, give me some unique content. You could say her frosty blue eyes touched my soul, or his skin was pale as cotton, or the grass was green as parsley, or I don't know. That's for you to be unique. You need to describe your world in a way that you understand the world you understand. That was very confusing. What I'm trying to say is, use unique comparisons. People are tired of reading blue as the sea. You can do better. I believe in you. A lot of people say show, don't tell. I call it show more than you tell, because telling is just as important as showing when it's done correctly. But that's a whole nother video. But in this case, when you are introducing your characters, you want to start off with, how are they feeling? What nervous tics, or what are their tics, their pet peeves? You know, these are things to consider, but you want to describe their emotional state and not tell me their emotional state. This is the difference between she couldn't believe her eyes and her eyes widened in disbelief. Or he was mad. Okay, what was he doing that makes you think he was mad? He slammed his fist on the table, his jaw tightened. You know, give me a physical description of what's happening. Don't just tell me how he feels. it's a little bit insulting to your reader when you just tell them things instead of leaving it up to them to put the pieces together. So, and that is the end of my video. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any sentences or any context or content, that you are struggling with how to make it more pithy or make it more concise and use more vivid terminology, then feel free to drop it in the comments below and I'll review it, and hopefully I can encourage you to find the solution yourself, or I'll just kind of offer suggestions about how I think you could improve it. So thank you so much for sticking all the way out to the whole end of the video. I hope you found it helpful and have a great day.